Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, Dr. Coach Erwin L. Hudson, a.k.a. Dr. Coach. Oh, hoops, baby. And, folks, I'm about to bring you 4 straight episodes with Coach Calvin Lingelbach, the man, the myth, the legend. Folks, it was unbelievable. I started out thinking that I was just going to do one big episode with him, episode 5, but we got too much material. It was too great. I was so excited. I had to make this into 4 episodes. So sit back, relax. We're going to start with episode 5, and we'll keep it going, okay? Let's do it. Coaches, parents, and players. Oh, my. What's up, people? It's your boy, Dr. Coach Erwin L. Hudson, a.k.a. Dr. Coach. Oh, hoops, baby. Let's go. Folks, we did it. We actually posted episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm here recording the big number 5. Can y'all believe it? Seriously, y'all don't understand how I feel right now. I'm ecstatic, and it's hard to even hold it in because episode 1, 2, and 3, and 4 was really emotional because I was able to introduce the coaches, the parents, and the players. We got really in detail with the good, the bad, and the ugly of all of them. And I really didn't know if I was going to keep going with it, but I'm here. And I actually had somebody who betted me that I wouldn't get past episode 2, and they know who they are, so they owe me, and I'm going to collect on that. So just want to make sure y'all remember that we're at episode 5 now. Hopefully I can get through it because it's going to be tough, but my little brother always reminded me that
if I don't accomplish it, we gon' try it again. And when I do accomplish it, we gon' try it again. Yeah, perfect me, mold me. I know they can't hold me. I know that my instincts are killers like Kobe.
we accomplished it, guys. We accomplished episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now we're on 5. And now we're going to talk more about coaches, parents, and players. Oh, my. All right, folks. It's time that I bring someone special and put them on the hot seat. My special guest today is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, and I'm serious legend. He probably won't like me saying it, but he's definitely a legend. Mr. Calvin Lingelbach, Coach Calvin Lingelbach. Let me make sure I get that correct.
Thank you, Erwin.
What I want to do before I bring him on, I want to read something and kind of give him some flowers and talk about his resume so folks who don't know who he is understand, I didn't know all this stuff. I had to consult Joe Seminar. The guy I tell you is probably the smartest mind I've ever met in basketball, and I say it to him all the time because he is. The stuff he knows that I don't think anybody else knows. I want to make sure we get this out there before Calvin and I start talking. I couldn't believe all the stuff he's done. I knew he had done a lot, but first let's go through this. 4-year UCF basketball player, a 4-year UCF baseball player, UCF Hall of Fame, top 100 UCF athlete of all time, professional highlight front quarter, 3-time Open Division national champ in softball, flag football national champ, Southeast putt-putt champion, Metro Conference Hall of Fame coach, Evans High School head varsity boys basketball coach over 20-plus years, head coach varsity girls volleyball, flag football, and golf, assistant girls soccer coach. Folks, that's a lot of stuff already, but listen to this. UCF basketball coach, Torchy Clark, who was his coach in college, once said about the player Calvin, if you teach Calvin a game, give him 10 minutes, and he will beat you at it. So, to really sum up Calvin's life, our dear friend Joe Seminar had this to say, and this is very meaningful. Calvin Lingelbach has devoted his life to developing student athletes into great human beings. This is evident in the fact that multiple ex-players have gone on to play professionally, as well as become great coaches and successful ministers. Coach Calvin Lingelbach's disciple tree has many wonderful and extensive branches. let's introduce Coach Calvin Lingelbach. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. Good
I
morning.
appreciate you so much for joining me. This is definitely an honor. You don't understand. I knew who you were a long time ago. And I met you at Oviedo High School. Finally met you. Joe was telling me Calvin's coming to the game, and I was really worried because I knew how you guys critique games, critique coaches. Y'all been doing this for a while. And I was like, man, Calvin's coming finally. And Steve Cohn, my mentor, who I coached with for 9 years before I became a head coach, always talked about you. It was like this mysterious being, Calvin Lingelbach, and the 1-2-2 defense. And I was always concerned about when I finally got a chance to meet you. And when I met you, it was like the most interesting experience because you didn't come off as this pretentious, high and mighty coach. I mean, I actually didn't even know you were Calvin until he said, you just met Calvin. I was like, what? I just met Calvin Lingelbach. And I went to call Steve at that time. It was right before my summer league game. And I was like, should I call Coach Cohn and let him know I just met Calvin Lingelbach for the first time? So that's how I felt about you. And now that we've interacted and we've become friends through UCF basketball and Joe, it's been my honor, honestly. And I'm so glad you accepted my invitation to be the first person to be interviewed on my podcast.
Well, I'm honored, Erwin, that I'm here, but you can't be using big words like pretentious. I don't know what that means. I can't spell it. So hopefully I won't disappoint, but let's have a good time.
All right, definitely, man. I appreciate you. So, listen, after hearing that extensive bio and knowing all the stuff you've done, this is my first question because it has to be asked. How are you feeling? Physically and mentally. I mean, that's a lot of stuff you've done. How are you really feeling in both aspects?
Physically, I call it sins of the past. Yeah, I've got scars. I've got a new knee, a shoulder. We've all got those things, bumps in the road. Emotionally, I'm 70. I have trouble saying that word because my circle of buds, some of them are moving on. There's some stuff happening out there with dementia and stuff that is tough. But we got to do what we got to do. I've got 3 F's in my corner: faith, family, and friends. I don't really know how folks get through some stuff without faith, which I'm a prayerful man. I'm a man of faith. And I got an awesome circle of friends, and I've got the best team of all is my family.
Gotcha. No, that's beautiful. Coach, the friends I've got a chance to hang around you with, they've always been so complimentary of you and so respectful of you. I can see how you keep those guys close. That's good. And one of the biggest things, I see your wife with you all the time at basketball games. That means so much to me that you guys are still like best friends.
With 41 years,
Wow.
She's the real head coach. I'm just saying she's awesome. Our family and all, it's just, I'm truly blessed. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right. Let's talk basketball because you and I are going to get emotional later. I know that. Let's do this fast because I want to make sure we tackle this. If you had to sum it up in a few words, like the current state of basketball, and let's start with the youth level. If you had to sum it up, what do you think?
I'm kind of far removed from it.
Okay.
But my experiences with youth basketball was, let's have a good time. If I could share my favorite story of all time,
yes,
I'm
please.
coaching my girls' little 6-year-old team, and basketball was that round thing. And we got together on the floor one night, and we all took turns starting the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And the little girl next to me, we called on her first, and she looked at me, and she called me coach, which is the greatest honor in the history of the world other than dad. But she looked at me, and she goes, Coach, I've never prayed before. So I said, hey, sweetheart, just talk to the man just like you're talking to your best buddy. And she started off with, hi, God. And it has stuck with me for 30-some years that when I pray, that's how I start off. So that's what youth basketball is to me. It's not about how many baskets you made and all that. It's about all the experiences at a young age.
Gotcha. I love it. Love it. All right. Did you do much in travel ball? I know youth is, you're right. That's so much fun. I still love training and coaching the youth. Now we get into that sticky one, the travel ball. And I know you were a high school coach for so long, and I know that was a conflict of interest to me back in the day. So talk to me on that.
You said it well. I'm a high school coach. AAU basketball, I won't say change things, but I'm really not that familiar with it. The team camps that we went to, we had this thing at Evans High School where we always pointed to our chest with Evans across our chest.
Gotcha.
And that's who we were playing for. And the AAU and the travel things that we did was all team Evans High School, Pine Hills based.
Yep.
We didn't do a lot of that other stuff.
Exactly. No, I totally understand that. So high school, then y'all really put most of your belief and stuff into the high school realm, right?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
All right, college basketball today. What do you think?
It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. My UCF team's got 12 new players this year.
Yep.
Got 12 new players last year. The best 3 players from last year, one's at Auburn this year making a couple $1 million. One's up in the Northeast somewhere. That side of it, I guess maybe I'm old school or whatever, but I'm a loyal dude to the end of the world. I want to see guys progress. Torchy Clark, my second dad, my college basketball coach, said loyalty is the most admirable asset or quality of all. And, you know, I get it. Guys are leaving and all this. It doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah.
So I won't say it's a sore spot. It's just not what it used to be.
Gotcha. I totally understand. It's killing us, man. I'm a UCF alumni also, and watching it happen, you know, as a business person, you want to say, yeah, it's business. But gosh, man, this is bad. This is college basketball. How can you do it?
You know, there was a day when we used to introduce players, and this is Erwin Hudson from Oviedo, Florida, and he's a junior this year, and he's studying and he's majoring in engineering. No, that doesn't happen anymore. Now it's Joe Smith. He's a 5th-year senior or a 6th-year graduate. You know, there's no more about school. There's no more what's he majoring in. Where was he last year?
Exactly. Joe and I were sending some texts. Right? We were talking about these players who got like 7 years. Like these guys are 26, 27 years old, still playing because they've transferred so many times. Still having one more year eligibility.
I swear, Erwin, it took me like 8 years to get out of school. I think I might have 4 more years of eligibility because they kind of booted me out after the computer back in the day wouldn't print any more of my transcript because I had so many years in. But I had a good time.
Exactly. Same school, though, right?
Yes, of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
Same school.
Well, actually, it was FTU.
Yeah.
And then UCF. So I got 2 degrees out of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it was back. UCF was Florida Technical University.
Come on, dude.
Florida
Technological University.
That's what it is. Okay, because I didn't even know. When I got here,
how can you not know that?
When I got here, I'm telling you, when I got my undergrad, I got my undergrad from Mississippi State. Then I got my master's and doctorate. 2011 went back to school. 2013 got the master's. Nobody talked about FTU. Nobody.
Nobody?
No.
Man, we could end this conversation right now.
So did you have like one University Road? Was that just one street back then? Because people told me
Boulevard?
that. Boulevard, yeah.
One street.
Okay.
Althea Trail. One lane. Matter of fact, when Torchy recruited me, he drove so slow. And University Boulevard, it took us like an hour and a half to get down there, and I think he was waiting for me to say yes or something. I don't know. But, yeah, there was only 5 buildings on that campus.
Gotcha. No,
and they're still there.
They're still there? Okay.
Yeah, still there.
And I think Joe told me also that where did he take you for your recruiting deal? And give them a shout out. What was the restaurant? He said Burger King.
No, it wasn't Burger King. I think we went to the diner in
the diner.
The Oviedo Diner.
In Oviedo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the Oviedo Diner.
Was the closest restaurant.
Yeah, that was I used to go there, and I went there when I first moved to Orlando. So I think they moved it now, the Chicken Coop or whatever they.
I don't know.
They moved it. All right, NBA. What do you think NBA right now? Do you watch much?
I'm trying to watch more. Turn into a Magic fan.
Yep.
I've always been a Magic fan.
Gotcha.
But you know the NBA is tough to watch. Guys are sitting out, and I don't quite get it. Back in the day, you never thought about sitting out a game, and we won't even get into the gambling aspect and all that.
Oh my God, it's scary.
It's on the way over here, I listened to Mark Daniels on the radio talking about it. It's such a topic. So I enjoy playoff basketball when it's, excuse my English, bitch and moan time, as they call it.
Gotcha.
But right now, I watch it, but I don't watch it.
Gotcha. I understand that totally. I mean, it's similar to college. You might be here this week. You might not be the next, trades and all that stuff. It's not like it used to be back in the day where those guys stayed and played, for their team.
Well, I had a conversation with Doc Rivers about 5 or 6 years ago. We were on the golf course together, and we were just talking. And he says, Cal, I'm just telling you, in about 5 years from now, half of the NBA is going to be international blood.
Oh, really?
And they're very skilled players over there. And if you look in the NBA, there's there's worldwide talent in the NBA.
Gotcha. Yep. No, I'm seeing that now, and especially with the new players that are coming over. It's changing. All right. Knowing that this podcast is titled Coaches, Parents, and Players. Oh, my. And that I really want to get to the good, the bad, and the ugly of what coaches do, what parents do, and what players do. I've come up with a premise. My premises are that and I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but I've heard it in my time of coaching, that coaches suck. Everybody thinks that, at least the parents and the players. Then you got, from the coach's perspective and the player's perspective, parents are crazy. And I talk about a lot of that in my book. And last but certainly not least, we all know that left to their own devices, players are lazy. So let's examine these statements from the OG point of view. From your perspective, you're a coach, you're a parent, and you're a player. So I kind of want to understand that. I'm going to ask you a few questions about it. I want to know, what is your perspective? So let's talk about this. Have you heard that when you were coaching, did anybody ever think you sucked?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, and it hurts.
All right.
It hurts. My high school basketball coach wasn't making $1 million where I could, turn the other cheek or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never been in that situation, but absolutely nobody wants to suck. And, if in high school, if we're talking high school basketball, everybody judges a coach by that scoreboard.
Yep.
Then my humble opinion, there's so much more to it than just a scoreboard.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, every time somebody's going to lose every game,
yep,
there's going to be a winner and a loser. And that means if the loser always sucks, then, that doesn't make much sense either. So.
Nah, definitely. So do people like your defense? What about your defense? Did anybody ever complain because you weren't playing man-to-man?
Well, that's no, never. Are you kidding me? No, sure. I heard it all the time. But, folks at the game, they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know that Erwin Hudson tweaked his knee, and that's why he's not playing so much tonight. They don't know that our 1-2-2 defense matchup was really a man-to-man defense, except we just didn't have – I didn't just cover 14. I had an area of the floor, and whoever was in that part of the floor, we were playing man-to-man defense.
Gotcha.
It just looked different. And I'm not allowed to divulge any secrets here because it's a Trojan pride thing.
Gotcha.
This thing – we were running the 1-2 defense when I was in 4th grade at Rolling Hills Elementary School, winning the elementary school championship, and we didn't get a ring or anything. We just got a pat on the back and said, one of these days you'll be running for Coach Pennington at Evans High School. And honest to gosh, it played out that way. So So that zone defense, I've heard it all.
Yeah.
But and it kind of, I laughed at the same time because we've got secrets.
I got you. No, it's special. I'm so lucky to be a part, like a stepchild, but I got a chance to get a taste of it with Joe being my assistant.
He didn't tell you everything. I'm just telling you
now. I'm sure he didn't.
Oh, no, he didn't. That was part of it, okay?
I'm sure he didn't. He didn't. But he told me enough to understand it because we'd had this situation where parents, they were so upset with us when, especially in the first quarter, when they would hit 2 or 3 threes. Oh, my God, get out of it. Get out of it. They thought we were worse. And all of a sudden, at the end of the game, they're 3 for 19. Like, I was like, wow. I learned so much from it. Yeah. Just that little bit that I got was amazing. So I'm sure there's a lot more to it. I mean, you can't tell me anything. What really?
No, let me show you something.
What you got?
I don't know if this is going to show up or not, but
I
got my UCF shirt on.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, you serious?
I've got my Evans.
It's gonna show
Trojan Pride.
Oh my God, you still? That is for real. That is for real.
This is forever.
Oh my God! All right, now I understand. Yeah. I mean, he told me a few things. I mean, the weighted vest.
They were lies.
They were lies. The weight vest.
Yeah.
Nothing about the weighted vest.
Yeah, we can't. That's old news. I got a great story about that one, but
I want to hear it. Let's talk. Give me something.
You ready?
On the weighted vest. Anything you got. I want to know about that.
So, I got a feeling you're going to ask me sometime who my favorite player is. And I've got tears thinking about it, because all my players were my favorite players. Our favorite players. We never said my. We never said I. It was always we. It was us. It was family. And truly, that sounds like a cliche, but that's what we tried to do. And that's what we wanted to do. So as I'm driving out here today, my favorite player of all time is a youngin' named Spud. Spud was 5'8". Spud was very athletic. He was a tough-nosed, pain in the rear end kid. And that weight jacket, he would put on that weight jacket when he would come to practice, because that was our form of discipline. And by the way, discipline is not an ugly word. Discipline doesn't mean getting spanked. Discipline means doing the right thing as often as you possibly can.
Yeah.
So Spud would show up a couple minutes late to practice, and guess what? He knew what the deal was. He knew that 20-pound weight jacket went around
20 pounds.
it was probably 25, but I didn't want to sound too ugly. And Spud would probably weigh 115 pounds. Why Spud favorite player? Because Spud took all that in. He was a little pain in the rear end, which I think you've got to be feisty. If you're 5'7", you've got to be feisty. And he was tough. And he questioned everything we did. Everything. Pain in the butt. Everything we did. But he did it. Relentlessly, he did it. Years later, he comes back to me and says, "Hey, Coach, I get it now." Spud ended up coaching high school basketball up in Tallahassee at Florida A&M High School.
Yeah.
And he says, "Coach, I get all those things that we did, all the weight jacket, all the laps, this, that, and the other." And he goes, "What about those 3x5 cards? You got any of those?" So back in the day, or when our whole practice schedule was always on a 3x5 card. And we religiously did it every day. He wanted, so Spud went from being the biggest pain in the butt to being the biggest advocate. Joe Seminara at his daughter's wedding had a 3x5 card. If you remember,
Yes,
he pulled it out of his back pocket
did.
to give his wedding speech. Spud's my favorite player, and it gives me chills.
Wow.
Because Spud made me a better coach. He made me a better person.
Wow.
He challenged me. Spud passed away.
Oh.
And I was asked to speak at his funeral. And I'd never been asked to do that before. And of all the basketball books, all the clinics, all the VCR tapes, all the coaching, nobody had ever talked about that situation. They talked about how to play man-to-man defense, how to press, how to out-of-bounds plays, in-bounds plays, but now is presented with this situation talking about Spud at his funeral. And that was from a 14-year-old young man to a 50-year-old man. And yes, sir, I had an extra one of these shirts, and it was laid at his coffin on the day of his funeral. So,
wow.
Anyway, I don't know if I'm off track or whatever. You
No,
just got to shut me up. I
you're-
blame this on
no,
Torchy. Torchy was so
you're
random
good.
back in the day.
That's what we want. Wow, I didn't know. Yeah, Joe never told me about him. I've never heard of Spud. That's
Spud.
Okay.
Spud.
Let's go, Spud. Okay. And so it was he was 50. You said 50 when he passed?
We're going to go with that. We're going to go with 50.
Okay. Gotcha.
My wife will know.
No.
She knows everything.
That's tough, man. That's tough. I mean, so you had to do that, and gosh,
It's not supposed to happen that way.
I know.
He's supposed to be at my funeral.
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to be at his funeral, and that was the family part. The family part. I hope that those kids, those young men trusted us. I think they knew how much we cared, and they didn't care really about how much we knew.
Gotcha.
Until they knew how much we cared.
Gotcha.
And
yeah. Nah, so I totally hear that. All right, folks, there you have it. Episode 5 is in the books. Get ready for episode 6.